Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. If there's something you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And this is really blinding success. This is a Six of Pentacles. This is material success. This is the coming together of your plans, right, into a very fruitful kind of harmony. I think there were a lot of moving parts to something, and I think that everything is coming together, and you will experience that win, that success, right? Let's put this into some context. Let's see where it's coming from, where it's going. Right? Because that's not the end of the road, right? That is a really, really good day from which you gain a little bit of freedom. And maybe this is, after this success occurs, maybe you're going to take a little bit of a break, right? Maybe you're going to use this as a means to travel, to explore other things, to kind of expand your curiosity a little bit and get away from the kind of business side of life, right? Yeah, business. See, we've got the Adjustment card. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. That's the visionary, really. This is the practical visionary, we should say. We've got a Three of Cups, celebration, right? Creating those peak moments. And I think that this is going to be a very, very intense peak moment for you. This is really something amazing that you kind of saw coming, right? In a way. But let's keep going. And we've got the Mercury energy. Interesting. Could be that this Fool is going out to find more inspiration, to explore your curiosity, your kind of natural, your natural instincts, your natural tendencies, your natural talents, so that we can come back with a new plan. We can come back with that fresh idea to expand this Six of Pentacles into something greater even, right? Yeah, see, there's you coming back with that great idea, Ace of Wands. Five of Pentacles, okay. But then we've got a Queen of Wands and the Emperor. Interesting with the Emperor energy. Let's select the Mystery card, bonus card, Confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor Infinite and Unknown. We're just going to set it down over here. Tiny Bob Ross can go right on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but, you know, it will tie everything together, and it will give us our confirmation. If at any point during this program you feel like you know what that card might be, put your prediction down in the comments below. I think we should do it together. I think it can be a group exercise in intuition. All right, let's take a look around the room again. We've got our majors over here, and then one at the end, right? We've got definitely some fire. We've got a little bit of water. We don't have any air energy, okay? The air that we really have is the Fool. The Fool is a pure air energy. It is just a big bag of air, right? So it's kind of taking the place of the Swords cards that we don't have. And that's the point. No pun intended. The point is that we don't want the Swords cards. We don't want confusion. We don't want doubts. We don't want second guessing. We don't want negative self-talk. We don't want competition. We don't want to fight with people and argue. So I feel like you're stepping away, kind of going walkabout with this card. You're stepping away from things now that we've accomplished something. We got to you had this really kind of, this peak moment. You had this really big win, really big celebration, and now it's kind of time for you to explore other things, to figure out what else you've got in you, right? all of the various ways for you to receive the fresh idea, right? So this is really a fresh wind. We're kind of going outside and we're just taking in some deep breaths. And we are just spending some time maybe in nature. We're going for a walk. We're just spending time with ourselves. We're exploring other things of interest. You know, you're going to the theater or you're going to a show or a concert or something, just to step away from this main work. And that's how you're going to kind of reignite the inspiration. So it could be that maybe we're missing a little bit of that inspiration. Maybe once this is a big kind of crescendo of things with the Six of Pentacles, then maybe after this, it's kind of like, okay, that was my masterpiece. Now what do? I've got to keep going. I've got to, you know, expand this business or find the next masterpiece to work on, right? So the Fool is really out there to seek that next big idea. It's kind of just exploring, just randomly wandering around the universe, trying to feel that inspiration, trying to just soak in some rays, you know, soak in some energy from the universe so that we can get that next idea. And with the Mercury energy, that we can develop it into a plan. You know, you're out there, you get inspired. Okay, now we've got to really sit down and figure out how to translate this, you know, into something else that we can build. And that's kind of what the Five of Pentacles is doing here. It is, it seems like it's devolving, right? From a 6 to a 5, but it's not really devolving. What it's doing is making us realize that this is that peak experience. This is that crescendo. This is that moment at the top of the roller coaster where you're just suspended in midair. And it's just this is the photograph of that, like, most amazing moment, right? And then the 5 is kind of back to reality. Now this moment is over. This celebration is over. The party is over. It's back to work, right? It's back to, you know, trying to put together the next kind of phase of things. I don't know if you're working on something that has stages, or if this is literally like one production and now you've got to find the idea for the next production. I don't know exactly what you're doing, but there is an element of professionalism here. So it's something that I feel like it's something you're getting paid to do, right? Or it's something involving contracts. It's involving, you know, money exchange. It needs to be written down on paper so everybody kind of knows what's what, right? I'm also getting an older male energy that's coming through. I think it might be like a dad or a grandpa that has passed. I'm getting an A name, but also a B name. I don't know. They're showing me A and B. And I think it's for a name, but I wonder if it's maybe choice A, choice B. I don't know if there was something, if the A and the B kind of have a significance to you, right? But older male energy feels like a dad or a grandpa that has passed. I feel like you're very close with them. I feel like they kind of like to bend the rules a little bit. That they were the one that kind of liked to see how far they could push the world, you know, how far they could kind of push the boundaries of, you know, of the rules, let's say. But I feel like they made friends very easily, and they had a very serious attitude, but they were also very friendly. And so I think they were really, really hardcore in business. But then, and they liked to kind of see how far they could push people. Like if you were in a negotiation with them, watch out, because they're going to find ways to keep pushing further and further in. Really great business person. But then in their friendships, they were very generous and very giving. So it's kind of the opposite thing, right? But I feel like they were a very heavy influence on you. I feel like they were really a mentor to you, right? And I think they really put your life on a certain path, even though maybe we never really looked at it that way, right? Well, let's look at these cards again. The Knight of Pentacles back here. This is your overall vision. This is that part of you that has the spiritual vision. You can see out into the distance exactly the life that you're trying to build, okay? As you see it now, as you understand it, because it will change. You're able to see the long-term goal, the 20, 50, 100-year goal, right? And you're also able to see the 90, the 80, the 50, 20, 10, a year from now, a week from now, the end of the day, right? I feel like you've got a lot of goals. You've got but it's all part of one big picture, yeah. So it could be, you know, this we've wrapped this particular location of production, and now you're kind of out doing walkabout, trying to scout for the next location, for the next, I don't know, the next part of the movie or something, or for the sequel or whatever, I don't know. But you've got this long-term vision, yeah. And I think that we're able to really work our way backwards and understand what we've got to do right now, today, in this moment, to continue on this path toward our big life goals, right? And so we're experiencing this celebration today, or coming very soon, wrapping up this particular phase of things, this particular location, or whatever it is with this big success that we're achieving. This is that best day, this is that peak experience, this is that really harmonious moment, and there is a celebration here, right? 3 of Cups at the top. You're trying to make yourself enjoy it, right? Because you are always thinking ahead. You always have that vision. You're always kind of daydreaming about what the next phase of things will be like. Because again, you kind of have these weekly goals, you have monthly, yearly, 10-year goals. So I think you know exactly what you want, and you're trying really hard to focus on the feeling of this right now. You're trying to stay in the present moment. Even the Mercury energy, this is the Magician, this is your mind. You're thinking about tomorrow. You're thinking about the next phase of things. You're already trying to strategize. You're already trying to rehearse what you're doing tomorrow. So maybe this was opening night of the play, of the performance. This was the first show on this musical tour. And you're already thinking about how you're going to have to perform tomorrow and what you might do differently and how you can add different things, how you can take advantage of, the whatever it is, right? We're thinking ahead. We're thinking about tomorrow. So sometimes the Knight of Pentacles can really see through the present moment in order to see the future, to see what needs to happen next. But Spirit's saying that you've got to try to, with the Fool, you got to try to let loose and just enjoy the big win that's coming now, okay? And really, really focus on this love, because I think it's really bonding you together with your people, yeah. I think that it is bringing you closer with your loved ones. I think that if there's a crew, or if there's bandmates or whatever, or other actors, this is bringing everybody closer together, and it really is something that needs to happen. This is part of the plan, right? Sometimes we think of the celebration as just something it's pointless, right? It's not part of the work, but it is though. Because it brings you closer with those people that you work with, or that you rely upon, or that you exist with. And when we can strengthen those bonds with our people, right, family, friends, coworkers, whatever this is, then that really kind of solidifies and helps to ensure the success of the next day, the next phase, the next project. Yeah. So if the candle just went out. Spirit, that older male energy is still here in the room. I think he wants attention. He showed me that he had a really fancy way of dressing. Maybe he had a jacket kind of like mine. He liked to wear really noticeable suits. Maybe not quite like this in a business meeting, but he was kind of a flashy dresser. And it was maybe his way of kind of having a big presence in those business meetings, where he was negotiating or trying to do. I wonder if he was maybe a lawyer or something like that, because we've got this Libra energy here too. And it's maybe it might be like a move, an intimidation move or a negotiation tactic to kind of have the really, not over the top flashy, but just noticeably people have to look twice, that kind of real snazzy dresser. I feel like he had something happened with his brain though, right? I feel like that's how he passed. I don't know if it was a brain cancer or if it was, I feel like it's more of a aneurysm or a stroke or something. Is there something with the blood in the brain? Yeah. And I don't know now, I don't mean to get too detailed about it, but I feel like he didn't transition into spirit right away. that it was a stroke or something that kind of left him different, right? Maybe left him in need of care, and I don't think he was able to communicate like you did before, and I feel like that was very hard for you. Yeah. But he's with you in spirit, and he's okay. And he wants to see you kind of step into this. Well, no, he's telling me that you are taking on a little bit of his qualities with this negotiation stuff. That you're kind of I don't know if I can say this, but he's saying that you're kind of a hard ass, right? When it comes to business, when it comes to contracts and employment and money stuff and negotiations and stuff, you're a tough one. He's using the hard A thing, but I feel like that's kind of the way he talked, And he wants to see you enjoy your success. He wants to see you have these wins. Now, I don't know if you have a family, because he keeps pointing me to the Three of Cups, and he's talking about family here. So either you have a family that you need to spend more time with, or it's like your mom or your brothers and sisters or something, right, that you need to kind of spend more time with. But there's some idea. He's pointing at the card, and family is the energy that I'm getting. So I wonder, if there's maybe these are the people in your life that feel like family. And so we've got to treat them like family in a good way. We've got to celebrate them and strengthen that bond, and maybe let them know that, they are family and that we appreciate them, right? So there's some emphasis here on the family kind of bond, all right? I love the Fool energy. I wonder if maybe, this person, if it is dad or grandpa or something, maybe it was an uncle, I'm not sure. But I feel that they were, again, very strong in business, like I said, but they had this very generous and almost playful side when it came to family, friends. When it came to their personal life, they were very different than their professional life. Professional life, they were big and strong and loud and, demanding and intimidating. But in the personal life, in the family life, they were very quiet, calm. No, maybe not quiet. But they were softer, right? Gentler. Yeah. And so I feel like this is kind of this is a moment of soul searching for you. Because you've had this big win. You're getting what you want in this negotiation, in this project, in this business deal, maybe. And before we move on to the next business deal, Mercury here, the magician, sometimes this is really just literally a business deal, right? Before we move on to the next one, let's explore those other things in our life. Let's get the inspiration. Let's get that fire going, right? Again, it's kind of going walkabout, right? Doing that, going on that vision quest, perhaps to find the next vision, to confirm the next step of the way, to kind of see, okay, now what's the right move now, right? Maybe you made a really huge business deal. You're going to celebrate it. You're going to enjoy it. Everyone's popping bottles and hugging. And then there will be time for you to then, like say, in the morning, you go figure it out, what's going to be next. You meditate on it, you go wander, you spend time in nature, you go to the theater, you go to the park, you go for a swim, whatever. Whatever you do to take your mind off of this work, that's the point, right? You have to get away from the office for a little while to get that inspiration, to take that deep breath, and that inspiration will come to you. This is the great idea of what the next move for the business is, what the next move for your family is, or for your production, or for your life. Okay. Now, those of you that are retired, it doesn't change anything. Okay. The Six of Pentacles is still that big win. Yeah. This is still that amazing thing that is happening. That is, it's success in whatever endeavor you're involved with. When I say work, I don't just mean employment. I don't mean that you're in the workforce, that you have a job or whatever. I mean, a lot of us do. But if you're retired, it's still necessary for you to have a purpose, right? And it's still necessary for us to work toward accomplishing things in the short term and the long term, near and far, right? And so whatever you're doing, whatever you're putting your effort into, it's going to be a really most amazing success, right? That we are then being called upon to enjoy, to experience, and to use it as a bonding experience with the other people involved in our lives. Pets, plants, people, whatever. Okay. Now, this next idea, we've got a lot of fire coming. Now it's time to really fire up the engines again and get on this path here, because it's like we've got this Ace of Wands here. You've got this vision for what's coming next, for what to do. You've got this great idea. Now we've got to implement it. Now we've got to put in the work, because there's something that it's kind of like, with the Five of Pentacles, we're looking at the situation like it's a problem and it needs to be fixed. Like there's something that's not working right, and we're going to come in with the right tool. A 5 and an ace, we get the 6 again. We're creating another of these most amazing, wins of our lives. And so we have to kind of see, what is the next struggle? What is the next thing that I need to push forward and put my effort into? What is the next goal? And when we have another goal in mind, and we've got the inspiration and really that great idea of what to do now, then we can apply ourselves. But if this 6 is all there is, then there's literally nothing to do, and our creativity will atrophy, right? Our mind, our body, our soul will atrophy if there's nothing left for us to do, right? So we don't want the 6 to be permanent. And thankfully, it is not, and we can't control that, so we don't even have to worry about it. But the 6 is that peak experience where we're just floating up there and we're weightless, and we want it to last forever. In that moment, we don't want it to end. That's why we take a picture. Because eventually we're going to come back the next morning, back to the office, and think, all right, there's all this stuff going on. Let's work on it. Let's tackle it. Let's fix it. Let's struggle against it. Let's put our effort into it. Let's get creative. Let's get a cup of coffee on and let's do it. Right. I was listening to the Huberman podcast yesterday, and there was someone on there that said, a scientist, I can't remember the name, he said that coffee has a half-life of about 5 or 6 hours, which is so it means even like 12 hours after you have a cup of coffee, there's still a quarter of it left in your system. I didn't think about that, because I drink some coffee in the afternoon too, and that might be why I have a little trouble sleeping. I don't know. Anyway, not too much coffee, I guess, is the message. And maybe we can even kind of put that into context here with this, because it is it's kind of like we put in all this fire. I mean, look, this is fire and earth over here, right? All this fire energy to fix this next problem, to get our next great success. Over here, we need a lot of coffee. But over here, maybe this is us just kind of relaxing again, unwinding, right? And when we unwind, what do? We look for things in life that we enjoy, something that doesn't remind us of work or of our works, right? Something that we can just enjoy, something we can just let loose, we can relax, we can unwind. We watch a movie, we take a hot bath, we go on vacation, we go for a swim, we go lie on the beach, we go for a hike, we climb a tree, I don't know. That is us unwinding all of this energy. Because you know what? You're going to have another cup of coffee tomorrow. We got to start this all over again. This is the next round of things. And it really feels like there is some sort of business or financial thing that is going on with you. All right. I feel like this is, now we're kind of off in not a new direction, but we're making another big step in the known direction. Okay, this was one phase of things. This is going to be now the next round. You got to put the next pot of coffee on for tomorrow or for next week or whatever it is, right? I feel like you've always had to put in a lot of work. Some of us can just put in a minimal amount of effort and get a decent amount of success. It's kind of matched 1-to-1. You put in a little bit of effort, you'll get a little bit of success. A lot of us are okay with that, and that's a great way to do it. Save that energy for something else, right? I feel like you want to put in the maximum amount of work and get the maximum amount of results in whatever you do. You don't do anything kind of halfway, right? If it's coffee, it's a whole pot of coffee, right? And then you're going to need the few days of unwinding, to catch up on sleep and rest and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I feel like you've got an intensity about you. Yeah, real intensity. I think it comes from this father figure. Yeah. But I think right now we kind of need a little bit of a break to recharge. This is a great success that probably was the result of all of this coffee, all of this fire and earth over here, resulted in the Six of Pentacles, really, and the joy and the celebration that comes with it. And now it's time to unwind from this to get ready for the next. So it is kind of a new beginning, but this is a cycle that is always repeating for you. And I feel like when you tackle something, when you go into a project or an endeavor or the next bit of work, you're putting in all of it. You're putting in all of your energy. The relaxation, the sleep, the eating, all that stuff is kind of secondary. You're just kind of having a sandwich while you're doing your work, kind of thing. Yeah. And the coffee, I think, is a big thing for you too. Yeah. So I don't know what your business is or what your work is, but you really take it seriously. Okay. At the same time, up here we've got the Queen of Wands. You don't want to appear as if you are someone above everybody else, right? So it goes back to the need for really having these moments. Maybe this is like the big win for your company and you're taking everybody out for a celebratory dinner or something, or taking everybody on vacation, I don't know. But it's a way of kind of humanizing everybody, and bringing you to everybody's level, making everybody feel equally important here. Because otherwise it may seem that you're just kind of... the hard A, and that you can't lighten up, right? So we don't want this card. That's what this position is here, what we don't want. Because I think in your ideal world, you would skip the celebration and you'd get right back to work. But we recognize the need for the break in between. One, to get the inspiration, to unwind and open ourselves up to the next great idea, but then also to strengthen the bond between everybody that you rely upon. Okay, everybody that is involved in this work with you. And I think that's really the key to being the best possible emperor that we can be. This is really a refined fire energy. This is somebody that keeps in mind the needs of the entire realm. The whole realm is your responsibility, right? So this is a lot of discipline for you, and I think it's easy for you again to kind of get into this role of the leader, the business person, the hard A, and kind of forget about the other side of things, right? The personal side of things, yeah. But that's a good emperor kind of has that balance, right? There's a certain balance in the emperor energy that can be, really tough at work, but can also really, really celebrate and really make people feel appreciated, feel welcome, feel taken care of, feel like they're equals, right? And also can focus on those other things. You are a lot more than just your job. You're a lot more than just the work that you do, right? You're more than just your commitment to whatever you're doing. Even like I said, even if you're retired. Whatever your commitment is to that kind of work, you're much more than that. You're an artist, you're a singer, you're a dancer, you're a lover, you're a writer, So we have to kind of put all of this into the bigger picture, because that's what makes you so successful, is all of those other things that contribute to the main, the main work that you're doing. Let's say you're a lawyer or a business person or something. It's all of your extracurricular activities. It's your relationship with your family, with your friends, with your pets. It's the house plants that you have. Spirit's showing me a little tiny, like a succulent or a cactus or something in a small white ceramic pot. I don't know if it's a cactus or what exactly it is. It's some kind of a succulent, or I don't know plants very much. But it's in a little white thing, white pot. Anyway, all of these extracurricular things, which we call extracurricular, right? Because it's outside of the kind of core work that we're doing. All of those things are equally, if not more important than the curriculum itself. Okay? And it's important to have that kind of balance, to be able to really forget about the curriculum and immerse yourself in those other things. And in that way, it's kind of like we're making those other, let's say you go like parasailing or like surfing or something. That is the curriculum. That is the only thing that matters in that moment. Whereas we've got this core, the work that we do, and we think all these other things are just kind of extra. Sometimes they're even annoying that we even have to do them. Sometimes we feel that they're just kind of superfluous or wastes of time even, but we make everything kind of equal. And in this moment, it's like when you're talking to somebody, you're talking just to them. I'm just talking to you. I'm not on my phone. I'm not talking to other people. I'm not thinking about other things. It's just that intensity of the moment, right? Where we can stay present. And I feel like when you do other things, if you're a writer, a musician, if whatever you do, you're a parent, you're a sibling, that is the core. That is the focus, right? All those other things, they're still there, but they're not on your mind at the moment. You're able to focus your intention just on this thing. I think that's what makes you so successful in this business. And that really is the superpower of the magician, right? The magician makes it seem like magic, like that they can just focus their mind on something and it will appear. What people don't realize about the magician is that there is a lot behind the performance. We forget sometimes everything that goes into that show, that performance, that meeting, that negotiation when you're at the negotiating table and you're making this business deal happen, There's so much that goes into who you are. This is just your interface, right? This is just the magic that you perform in the moment. But everything else about you, everything else you've ever done, every other interest, everything about you, every thought you've ever had is behind this persona, behind this interface. We see the screen of the computer or of the phone or whatever, but we don't think about everything that went into that device. Think about your cell phone. We see what's on the screen. We don't really think about all the circuitry and all the whatever stuff is behind the screen. All the technology, all the components, all the the microchips and circuit boards and stuff. We don't usually think about that. We also don't think about all of the hours and all the research and all the engineers and all the innovators and everything. Every person that has ever done anything to contribute to this device. There's an infinite number of things behind this screen that we're looking at, right? And that's the lesson that the magician's trying to tell us right now, that there's so much more to it. So celebrate this win and focus on other things for a little bit as a way to unwind. This work is still going to be there. You're still going to have to engage with this next cycle. Okay. I want to look at the mystery card now. Okay, mystery card. What could it be? I want to see more water energy. We've got a Three of Cups there. The Three of Cups, kind of a potential energy. It's the potential for celebration, right? We haven't actually materialized it yet. So I want a 4, even a 5, a 6, any of the other cup cards would be fine with me. Just to show that we're engaging with that water energy because we don't have any other water here. If you have a prediction, I want you to put it down in the comments, okay? Queen of Cups. Well, that's some water energy. This is actually double water. Queen of Cups, water and water. And this is really that that indulgence. It's kind of like when we're focused on personal stuff, we're focused on it. When we're focused on our spiritual work, that's what we're doing. There's no distraction here, right? And with the Queen of Cups here, it's understanding what it's understanding what is truly meaningful to us. And in some ways, it's asking you to ask yourself, why do you do this work? Why is there this intensity? Why do we do this? Right? Whatever you're working so hard on, a lot of fire here, whatever you're working so diligently to achieve, why? What does it mean to you? Right? What is its significance? And not to judge it, not to say it's right or wrong, but just for you to acknowledge the reasons why you're doing something. Is it to take care of yourself, your friends, your family? Is it to create something that's going to last, kind of beyond you? Is it because, that's just how you were raised? Or is it out of some devotion to someone else? Maybe this father figure, really an inspiring person, it feels like. Yeah. I'm still wondering about the A and B thing too. What the A and B might have been. Okay. Queen of Cups, though, this is a very good confirmation card. You are indulging in the water energy. And you're finding in this water, in those moments of celebration with your friends, your family, your pets, your plants, your people, you're starting to realize what's truly important. And I think it is in those moments of being with those people, being you're out of the war room, right? You're out of that negotiation, that business deal is done. Now it's the after party. And this is where you can kind of look around the room and you start to really feel the love. You start to feel the appreciation for everybody. And it reminds you why you're doing this. All right. Now we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Sagittarius, Wednesday and Sunday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. I am here every day. You can come see me again tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, does not cost you anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Yeah. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.